it's come to my attention that Fidelity has been telling our donors that we are under investigation, including criminal investigation, which is false. It's patently false.
So just as a summary, Fidelity Charitable has become aware of several media reports in the Washington Post, for example, in November, provided information about allegations involving non-charitable and possibly illegal activity. We have temporarily suspended grant making to this organization while we continue to monitor developments and gather information regarding these allegations and claims.
Our donors have been told that grants are not being allowed based upon a Washington Post article from November the 10th.
Ever since mid-January is when this started being investigated, and all of them were being rejected. So it's not just you; it's a lot of other people as well that are experiencing this, that want to give to Project Veritas.
Okay. Do you know who flags it?
It was Kelsey.
We will not sit by while Fidelity continues to slander us. That needs to be understood.
I'd like some explanation from your bank as to why you are telling our donors, telling people that our organization, is, quote, under investigation. It's just not so.
And in the meantime, our donors are going to continue to be told that, quote unquote, Project Veritas has engaged in illegal and non-charitable activities.
No. They should not be told that.
So there it is. There's no federal investigation. This is the anatomy of a lie. The Washington Post, with this trash, goes after a brave whistleblower and falsely claims he recanted his story. Then the lie gets repeated ad nauseum. Then someone decides we're under investigation. Someone at an organization that determines and facilitates donations to nonprofits decides that arbitrarily, except we're actually not.
There is, in fact, no criminal investigation that Fidelity is aware of when it comes to Project Veritas. Are you aware of any?
I am not personally.
There have been several media outlets that have come out with information regarding some investigations into Project Veritas and some illegal and non-charitable activities that they have been involved in recently. And so because of that, we have temporarily suspended grants to this organization.
That was a voicemail one of our donors got late last week from Fidelity Charitable. When we heard this, we were both perplexed and frankly a little angry. What we were about to explain and expose is how one newspaper's lie months ago can grow into a dangerous and nasty cancer. Meet Marvin Tumala, one of our donors and the man who first brought this mess to our attention.
What I did is, in December, I set up an account with Fidelity Charitable as an investor with Fidelity, and I was able to contribute stocks, which they sold, and then that money I was able to use to contribute. And I granted some money or donated money to Project Veritas in December on the 14th. That was approved on the 14th, and you all got the money. I did a repeat in January on the 20th, and that was denied. I called them and asked them why, and all they say is there's newspaper articles or stories. One, I guess, is in the Washington Post saying that you're all under investigation for activities that are not allowed under the 501(c), the charitable umbrella, and therefore they cannot approve any money being granted to you at this point. So I guess I'm in limbo. I can't contribute any more money to Project Veritas at this point, or maybe never.
Marvin Tumala and one of our journalists spoke with Michael Heil at Fidelity.
This is Marvin. I have a question for you, Michael.
Yes.
Why was my grant to Project Veritas in December approved then?
Let me look into this, because they may have not been flagged at that point.
It was December 14th. And it was approved on December 14th, the same day. That's why I was so shocked when you all wouldn't approve the second one. 30
Yes,
days,
and it
right?
looks like they get a lot of donations, and it's not just you that are being rejected. Ever since mid-January is when this started being investigated, and all of them were being rejected. So it's not just you; it's a lot of other people as well that are experiencing this that want to give to Project Veritas.
About how many people, Michael, would you say?
I couldn't divulge that sort of information.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
A good amount.
Have you ever seen something like this before? Anything like this?
No, I haven't seen anything like it before.
Fidelity Charitable is a 501c3, like Project Veritas. Donors give Fidelity money, which the donors then grant to other 501c3 organizations like ours. Fidelity, however, told our donor he wasn't allowed to give his money to Project Veritas because we had been, quote, flagged. Other donors were told that as well.
Hi, this is Kelsey with Fidelity Charitable. I was just returning your call regarding your inquiry to the grant recommendation to Project Veritas. So just as a summary, Fidelity Charitable has become aware of several media reports in the Washington Post, for example, in November. I believe it's the first one to come out that provided information about allegations involving non-charitable and possibly illegal activity. And since Fidelity Charitable does review all grant recommendations at the time they're recommended to ensure that all funds are used exclusively for charitable purposes, we have temporarily suspended grant making to this organization while we continue to monitor developments and gather information regarding these allegations and claims.
Yes. Some nonprofits get flagged for specific things. This one is flagged, but I'm trying to specifically see what it is necessarily flagged for.
Okay. Do you know?
It's being flagged for further investigation.
Okay. Do you know who flags it?
It was Kelsey, I believe.
So Kelsey herself flagged it.
That's sort of she is part of the team that deals with that sort of those sort of questions, and when they have to reach out to the nonprofits and get information from them. It's not the only nonprofit that was flagged at the time. There's some sort of and I don't really understand exactly why, because I don't know what that article that she may have sent you or not, but I don't really, even if you did send me that article, I wouldn't 100% understand. Maybe the person who's being investigated is a part of this nonprofit.
When our donors asked why they were being told that Project Veritas had been flagged, they were told to Google the November 10th and November 11th articles from the Washington Post. Now, in these two articles, the Post falsely reported that mailman Richard Hopkins recanted his statement that he overheard his supervisor and a postmaster discussing backdating ballots in the November election. Hopkins had come to us with that story. But these articles make no mention of any investigation, let alone illegal or non-charitable activity by us, by Project Veritas. So our lawyer called Fidelity's lawyer for clarification.
This is our regular process of reviewing charitable organizations.
And in the meantime, our donors are going to continue to be told that, quote unquote, Project Veritas has engaged in illegal and non-charitable activities?
No. That they should not be told that. And that's not, because that's in fact what we are, among the things that we consider whether an organization is an eligible charity. But we are not, if we were at a position, we're not in a position to make a factual statement. That's not our place.
And do you have any reason whatsoever to believe, based upon what you know at this point, that Project Veritas has in fact violated any standard of Fidelity's grant-giving program?
I do not have the information in front of me. I'm generally familiar with Project Veritas and some of the issues that have come up. Obviously, I'm aware that it is under review, but I don't have all of the details in front of me.
Yeah, what issues exist with Project Veritas?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm not, again, I'm not prepared to share that.
I just want to make it abundantly clear, however, about one thing, and that's this. We obviously take very seriously the accusations that are made against Project Veritas, and we have recordings of your employees telling our donors that we are under investigation for criminal and non-charitable activities. We are a 501c3 whose existence in part is required to have that tax-exempt status. And the communications that you have with our donors is of utmost importance that it be accurate. And it clearly has not been in this case. We are still, you talk about reviews and investigations. We are in the midst of reviewing and investigating this particular instance to determine whether or not what you have done and said to our donors has damaged us. We will not sit by while Fidelity continues to slander us. That needs to be understood.
It is not the intention that it is not our intention that anyone is slandered. But in any event, I do understand what you're saying, and I stand by my statements. I will circle back with our folks and make sure that we have that clear.
There is, in fact, no criminal investigation that Fidelity is aware of when it comes to Project Veritas.
I can't state that there is no such thing.
Are you aware of any?
But we're certainly. I am not personally.
So there it is. There's no federal investigation. There's no federal investigation into us like our donors were told. In fact, it's not really an investigation at all. It's more of an internal review, like laser. My friends, this is the anatomy of a lie. The Washington Post, with this trash, goes after a brave whistleblower and falsely claims he recanted his story. Then the lie gets repeated ad nauseum. Then someone decides we're under investigation. Someone at an organization that determines and facilitates donations to nonprofits decides that arbitrarily, except we're actually not. And when you question these narratives, they quickly fold. They unravel. They completely unravel. And the truth stands taller than any lies. But for every one time we catch them doing this and break it down for you, there are 50,000 other times. 50,000 other times when you don't know what they do. Who am I speaking with?
This is Brendan. I work in the compliance team at Fidelity Charitable.
It's come to my attention that Fidelity has been telling our donors that we are under investigation, including criminal investigation, which is false. It's patently false. And our donors have been told, this is Project Veritas, a 501c3 organization, our donors have been told that, that grants are not being allowed based upon a Washington Post article from November the 10th. So I'd like some explanation from your bank as to why you are denying, telling our donors, telling people that we, our organization, is, quote, under investigation. It's just not so. It's not correct. It's defamatory. And I'd like an understanding as to why Fidelity Charitable is telling our donors these things, apparently based upon what your individual said, an article from November the 10th in the Washington Post about a story.
Based on what you're saying, it doesn't sound like it actually has any allegations of an active investigation of your organization. So if that is in fact not quoted in the article, we'll make sure I call with Kelsey and inform her that this information wasn't in there and that we need to follow back up with that individual donor and just explain that there may have been some confusion and that that information was inaccurate and that there is no active investigation of the organization at this time to our knowledge.
We are waiting for Fidelity to correct this injustice, and they better do it soon. What happened was wrong and profoundly dishonest. They lied to their clients. They need to apologize to them and to us. Stay tuned. We're inside Wall Street. We've got more coming. If you're on the inside of Fidelity or any financial institution, contact us securely at veritastips@protonmail.com. Be brave. Do something.